Hello and welcome to another exciting video from Couture presented by Painted Palomino. I'm Randy and today I'm going to be doing another project. This project will consist of another Halloween theme, as you can see here in front of me. It's a Creep It Real on a door tag, what they call a door tag. I selected it because it fits pretty well and hang it from anywhere, do anything that you want with it. And again, all this is erasable, so you can change it for the different types of holidays that'll be going on. However, one thing that I did want to do today to help new people like myself is the very first project I ever did. I ran into a situation where I didn't know what I was doing, and I ended up opening my first jar of paste, and it came out looking something like this. It's very chunky. And things of that nature. So what I've been instructed to do, and I've already done it with black, and I'll go over the colors that I'll be using for today, is first I want to get in here and just stir it up. So we'll start off by doing so. As a matter of fact, this one isn't as bad as the black was, so this is actually going to be quite easy. I wish I would have done this one and not the black first, because the black took a little bit of extra work. So as you can see, it's breaking down really nice. The consistency that I've been told that you want is consistency of yogurt or sour cream. Just a nice smooth paste to work with. Now the black that I did use initially was very chunky, so what I was instructed to do is take some distilled water and add a few drops at a time, put it in there and whip it for about 3 minutes and see if you can get the consistency. The black on there, again, it didn't break down as well. It took a little bit of time, and sometimes it does. You don't want to overdo it, according to my wife. She said that if you overdo it, then your colors are just going to be runny and not as it won't be as pliable. So this actually broke down really nice. As you can see, we got ourselves a nice consistent paste here. It's very pliable, and it's got the consistency of the sour cream / yogurt that we were looking for. All right, so remember to always scrape off. Place as much as you can back in. Okay. And for now, I'm going to go ahead and close up the lid. All right, so as you can see in front of me, we're going to be doing the Creep It Real. It's kind of a funny little statement, so I decided to run with it today. The colors that we're going to be using is going to be scarlet. I'm going to use this scarlet here for the sign itself. Red on white will definitely make it stand out and be bold. I'm going to be using this black velvet. Okay, I'm going to use all the black velvet for the bats that are around. And then finally, I'm going to use the shimmer silver. Okay, I'm going to be using the shimmer silver for all the stars. So I'm doing 3 colors. It's kind of a bold upgrade to what I did last time. However, we'll see with what we got. Now, I've been told that when you work with different colors, that you want to, when you place down your transfer, you don't want to let the colors dry on there, because then it won't transfer as well. So in front of me, I have several of these paper towels, and what I'll do when I get done with the color, I'll start with all the small stuff. I'll do the bats and I'll do the stars first, but what I'll do is I'll take a section of this paper towel and I'll get it moist, and I'll place it over the color so I can move on to the next one. And then when I go to do my transfer or lift my transfer, I'll carefully remove all the moistened paper towels, and then I'll remove the transfer. And hopefully what we're ending with is a pretty cool sign with 3 different colors. So again, I've got my tools. they were a little bit out of reach. I apologize for that. I've got my tools, I've got my colors, I've got my fuzzing pad. Again, from what I've been instructed, you want to continue to fuzz this, which pretty much just means you're taking off some of the sticky from it. It allows the transfer to apply much nicer to whatever surface you're using. So, I'm going to go ahead and open this now. And make sure to take great care of the bag. The bag is reusable, so when you're done, you can place your transfer back in this bag. And they even did a pretty awesome thing where they got a little hanger, and you can hang it up so that way you keep it nice for multiple uses. Okay, I'll place that aside for now. Okay, so before I do anything else, remember the big part here is you want to separate the backing from the transfer. So I'll go ahead and remove that. And I'll keep that aside. Get my fuzzing cloth here. And again, you just want to do this a couple of times. Just lay it down, run your hand over it. Pick it up, lay it back down, and for namesake, I'll just do it a third time. Okay. And you shouldn't need your fuzzing cloth, so you can go ahead and place that to the side. Next, again, you want to lay it down some symmetrical fashion. So I'm big on making sure that it's not crooked or tilted or anything else. So I'm going to start here at the bottom here. Find myself a good point. Okay. What do you think? Do you think that looks good? I think it looks good. All right, so I'm going to start by taking our angled squeegee here, and I'm going to run the angled squeegee all the way up, ensuring that I pull out all the air. And for this, again, you just want to make sure that you're not creating any air bubbles, especially on any of the clear parts. It's a silk screen in there, so the flatter you have it, the nicer project you'll end up with. So taking the extra steps, get it on there nice. Okay. And then what you want to do is just kind of run your hand over the top, just like the last time. Make sure that you're running your hands so you make sure that you don't feel any air bubbles or gaps, anything of that nature. I got a little bit of one right here, so I'm glad I felt for that because it's on the green. However, this star right there, this star right here, you want to make sure you can actually kind of see it in the camera a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and try to smooth that out some more. Okay. And bam. All right, we've got it laid out pretty good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start with the black again. I'll show you as I open this up. It was very, very chunky. It's still kind of chunky, but it's not as bad as it once was. So I'm going to give it a good couple of whips here. As you can see, as I'm whipping it, it's smoothing itself out. I don't know how well you can see it with the black, but it's still a little dry, but it's very pliable. It's a thick yogurt, so I'll stretch with it and I'll run with that. All right, so we got the black. Okay, boom, set that aside. All right. So because these are small bats, I'm going to be working with the small squeegee here. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to dip the corner in. Just go get a little bit on here. Okay. And I'm going to place it right down here on this bat. Boom. Just like so. And then I'm going to ensure that I cover the entire bat. Okay. And then as I get done, I'll scrape off that excess. I'm going to set that just down for a quick second. I'm going to grab my moist pad here. You don't want to soak it, but you do want to get it wet. So I'm just going to dabble my fingers on here real quick into the water. Get it nice and wet and place it right over the top there. Boom. And I'm going to go right on in. Oop. Luckily that was on the green, so I'm good to go. I'm going to go ahead and just immediately go into the next bat. Yeah, I don't want my black to dry up, so the quicker I work with this, the faster and easier this will be. Got another bat covered, pretty quick. Couldn't see it there. I apologize. So I don't want to run this black down into my main part of my sign, so I just want to take that extra care and caution, keep everything as I can, as cleaned up as I can. Again, I'm going to get my paper towel wet. Yeah, right there. And I'm going to lay it over the top, just like I did before with the other piece. Boom. Keeping it just like that. And I got one more bat, so I should have enough paste on here for this last bat. We'll find out. And I did. I got a little bit of black right there. Hopefully that red will cover it up. Small mistakes, still learning. I probably should have used a even smaller squeegee for that, but I cleaned up as much as I could, got as much as I could off. Scrape it back in because you want to conserve. Okay, so pulled off all the excess. Now I'm gonna quickly get this black covered up. One thing I've neglected to do is ensure that I got the moist paper towel. Get this paper towel here again. Simple. That might be a little too big. That's why I like paper towels, because you can just rip them to size. Doesn't have to be any rhyme or reason to it. Just tear them off. All right, and I still got all my stars ready to go. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and move into my shimmer silver. I'm going to take my squeegee here, and I'm just going to place it in the water. I'm just going to clean it off really quickly. Get that black off there. Okay. You don't want to mix your colors, so getting it nice and cleaned up, dried off, and just that fast. I'm ready to go for the next color. Boom. Okay. So again, the big thing is for your other colors, your solid colors that I've already used, like the black and the red that I'll be using here shortly. If your colors are chunky or anything like that, you want to add a little bit of water to it to moisten it up. However, again, with the shimmer colors, it's more of a glitter base. So when you do utilize this, you do not want to add water to it whatsoever, from what I've been told. So we're going to just hope that when I open this up, we don't have a bad color. pretty good. All right, notice that it's got all that excess on there, on the lid. Just scrape that right on in there. Keep as much of this paste as possible. Let me back on up a little bit here. Doing everything really up close. All right, so I scraped off as much as I could. If you really wanted to get about it, you know, you could take your squeegee, scrape off that, place it in there, and have even more. So I'm gonna grab one of my spoons here. Okay, I'm gonna use the bottom side. I already used the top of it for the black, but I shouldn't have to mix it too much, so I'm just gonna use the bottom of it here, so I'm not wasting materials. And boom. See? All good. Give it a good swirl so that way it brings out the colors. And we're good. All right, so I got my paper towels ready. This one should go even faster. Grab my angled squeegee here, and I'm just gonna get a dabble again, just on the corner. All right, this shouldn't take very much. I'm just gonna go ahead and spread it on a couple of these stars really fast, just so I can keep from having to move around so much with it. Okay, cover it up. Well, this one is going to work a little bit quicker. As you can see, I'm covering it up pretty fast. Okay. So now that I've got all my stars covered, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure that I scrape off the extra. I'm going to avoid that black right there that I accidentally got on the transfer a little bit ago, so I'll just scrape around that. I'll lose a little bit, that's fine. I'd rather lose a little bit than have my colors crossed. All right, now that I've got all my excess off, make sure I close my lid. Grab my moist paper towel. Get this wet. Place it right along the top there. Another little chunk. Same thing. And we are good. All right, perfect. So now that I've got all the extras for this covered up, I'm going to now work on the red. I'm going to clean up the shimmer silver off my squeegee here. I'm actually going to probably use the bigger squeegee. It's a lot bigger for the centerpiece, and I'll use the little squeegee when it comes down for the small details and making sure that I'm scraping the edges. One thing I'm going to try to do really quickly, grab a paper towel here. Okay. I just lost my paper towels. Alright, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I clean this up really nice. I'm going to take a little dabble of the paper towel here, and I'm going to dip it in the water. And I'm just going to try to see if I can't clean this little bit of black I got on here off. Just so that way I don't cross the colors at all. It should come off pretty easily. If not, then I'm gonna just have to rock with it. All right, so now I'm gonna be going into the scarlet. I had a couple of different choices between candy apple red. There's also a crimson, and then I also have this scarlet. I like the scarlet. It seems like a deep red, so should be pretty easy to apply and look pretty good. I'm gonna get myself a nice healthy dose this time. Okay, and I'm just gonna put some in the center here and here, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and just squeegee away. I want to make sure that I cover the entire section, everything on here. This is the part where you don't have to be intricate. If you get it on the green, that's fine, as long as you're covering all the white. Okay. Gotta move that paper towel a little bit. Next time, learning lesson for me, next time I'll make sure that I have maybe some pre-done up paper towels, so that way I don't have to move them around so much. All right, so I've got the first layer done, so I'm gonna go ahead and scrape all this off. As I scrape it off, I'll just apply it to the second layer. Ensuring that I pull off as much of this as I can. Okay. Paper towels aren't cooperating as well as I'd like it to, but it's doing its job. I hope. Never done it before, so again, as you see, I'm just going straight down the line with this. Doesn't really matter if I'm getting it on the green. You'll clean it all off later. I'm sure there's much better ways of doing this. This is what I've chosen to do. And okay, so I'm gonna need just a little bit more. Cover up this bottom section, the banner. Okay. Got some spots here that I missed. Okay. Remember, you're wanting to cover all the silk screen, so the goal here is to ensure that everything's covered, and then we can worry about pulling off all your excess. So that's why I'm trying to pull it down the screen. Oop. Alright, time to get my fingers a little dirty, that's fine. It's all washable. This is where that little squeegee would come into play. However, at that point I'd be working with little time on doing it, so now I'm just going to pull off as much of this excess as possible. Okay. Matter of fact, I don't have much excess, so that's pretty nice. I used what I think is a pretty good amount. It's a little thick, but very pliable. All right. So what you're left with is looking at a big blob of different colors and ugly paper towels and things of that nature. So hopefully here in a second, I'm gonna go ahead and start removing all my paper towels. Hopefully it did what I think it did, and just kept the colors moist so it didn't dry on there. All right, now that we have all the paper towels removed, it's time to see what could be the final piece. Oh, Got a little spot there. That's fine. Come right on over. Boom. Oh, little one more piece right there. All right. All right, so I've removed all my paper towels. Everything is good. Hopefully when I lift this, we are looking at a finished piece and not something that needs to be redone. I'm gonna start off on one corner here. It's looking pretty good at the corner down there. That's fine. Place my hand down. You want to pull up on them gently. You don't want to damage your transfer or anything like that. And voila! I'm going to go ahead and immediately and get my transfer in the water. That way I can begin the cleaning phase. I showed on the last video how to clean up your transfer and everything. So all in all, I don't think this was too terrible of a piece. There's definitely some learning curves that I'll have to learn to perfect the craft. However, we did get all the effects that we wanted. We got the shimmer silver, excuse me, for the stars. Just as rookie mistakes, you can see this top star right here. There's a little bit of excess and clumping right there. That's something that I would have to fix later on. And on the bat right there, I didn't quite spread it enough. And as we all see, the red and black, I got that bled in a little bit. So just a little bit of carefulness. I mean, this is very easy to do. However, if you become complacent and you overlook some of the small details of things, then your piece won't turn out as nice as you would want it to. However, for first time using 3 colors and tempting, I think I did fairly well. The goal here is not to allow any of the colors to dry. You want them to be moist until you pull up your product. And some advanced steps going into this that my wife has talked about is how to blend your colors and do like a shading, so to speak, so it goes from like a bold color down to a light color. That one is more towards the intermediate advanced levels. I won't be doing that just yet. I'm gonna keep it nice and simple, and this was a little bit of a reach. I did 3 colors. Maybe I should have stuck with 2. However, I think I did fairly well. Fit the door tag pretty nicely. And half the battle is ensuring that not only does your transfer fit properly, but you also want it to, you want all your colors to look nice on there, and making sure that you pull off all your excess. I mean, I barely used anything, and for a jar of paste like this, we'll definitely get, quite a bit of usage out of it. So the more you keep it, the more projects you're able to do. But in closing, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like and subscribe button. Again, this is Chalk Couture. It's presented by Painted Palomino. You can find her at Chalk Couture under Painted Palomino. She has a small team of folks that work with her. And yeah, I mean, this is something I'm doing just to help her and do my part. So again, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like and subscribe, we'll be bringing you more videos. And thank you guys very much, and you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.